said Stan, he said if I take him out of the blanket game, he's gonna blanket kill me. Stan goes, let the boy go. We won the game 5-3. Darryl, it's been a privilege and an honor for you.
At this time, the last thing of the pregame ceremonies, if you can direct your attention to the video board, we're going to show you a live shot outside the stadium of Darryl Thompson Drive, leading up to Regency Furniture Stadium. Now, if you can direct your attention over to the first base side, you're going to see a brand new sign coming off for Darryl Thompson Drive. The Blue Crabs are incredibly appreciative of Darryl and everything he's done over the years and will continue to do, and we just are very incredibly thankful. Thank you so much.
Alright, well, all the stuff that I've done and everything I've done here is all because of everyone that's been showing up and supporting me, not only just me, but the Blue Crab baseball team in general. But like I said, the only reason I really like coming back here, yeah, I was born and raised here, I love it here, but the fans and coming here and playing in my hometown is something that, I mean, not many people can really say that they've been able to do that. So, first thing, I want to give a shout out to everybody up in the street over there, our family. They've all supported me throughout this whole thing. I want to say thank you. I appreciate everything. I love all you guys. And to everybody else, I appreciate everybody coming out here. And to the Blue Crabs, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, I got my own street. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't even get this in my own neighborhood. So, but once again, thanks everybody for coming out here and supporting me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys.
Thank you guys so much. We're doing Darryl Thompson themed activities through the night, but for now, it's time for baseball.
Well, fans, I hope you enjoyed that ceremony of Darryl Thompson honoring his outstanding career with the Blue Crabs and being a terrific member of the community. Now, the new street sign with him being Daryl Thompson Drive, a really terrific honor to have his name on the street sign here for the parking lot here at Regency Furniture Stadium. So what a terrific man in the community, and he's shown some outstanding pitching performances. I'm sure you had an opportunity, or I hope you did at least, have an opportunity to listen to what Joe Walsh and a number of the other members of this Blue Crabs coaching staff had to say about their longtime teammate and now fellow coach, as Daryl Thompson is both the pitching coach and their star pitcher. As Andrew Bandstra mentioned on the field just moments ago, Daryl Thompson was able to lead this team in virtually every pitching category between 2019 and today. Back in 2019, Thompson won the Pitcher of the Year award, and then since then he's also been working with Matt Latos and Andres Briseño, and they've had two of the top pitchers in the Atlantic League, or at least did in 2021, and Briseño and Latos off to a very strong start again today. Daryl Thompson's not getting the start tonight for the Blue Crabs. He started back in Game 1 of the series against Staten Island on Wednesday. But it's Eddie Butler who will get the start for the Blue Crabs this evening. Eddie Butler, a former major leaguer, played parts of 5 seasons in the MLB. He comes in having pitched in just one appearance where he went 3 innings, and he allowed 1 earned run. Butler was, again, parts of 5 seasons in Major League Baseball, most recently in 2018 when he pitched for both the Cubs and the Rangers. Butler was selected in the first round of the 2012 MLB draft by the Colorado Rockies and made his debut in 2014. His best year came back 5 years ago in 2017, where he had a 3.95 ERA with the Chicago Cubs in 11 starts. Last year, he made 29 appearances at the AAA level with the Kansas City Royals AAA affiliate. He struck out 55 batters in 79 innings. Good control for Butler this year. He has pitched 3 innings, did not walk a batter. He had 2 strikeouts, allowed just 1 hit. And he pitched really quite well in that first series in Game 4 against Lexington. The Blue Crabs combined for a 2-hitter as a team in a 5-2 win over Lexington. Well, tonight the Blue Crabs are set for Game 2 of their series against the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. So let's run you through the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes lineup with that. Batting first is the center fielder, Demetrius Moorer. Batting second is the shortstop, Riley Mahan. Batting third, the right fielder, number 1, Wellington Dotel. The cleanup hitter is Chris Shaw. He's playing first base. Felix P.A. is the 5-hitter, and the designated hitter, Chase Velo, is the catcher. Will Decker is playing second base. He bats 7th. Robbie Kellerman was originally going to be out today. He was the catcher in yesterday's contest, but because of a couple of different issues and a couple of replacements that had to come in, Kellerman was slotted in at third base. Mahan was originally playing third. He moves over to short. But Kellerman at third, and Breland Almadova is in left. On the mound again tonight for the Blue Crabs is Eddie Butler. Let's run you through the Blue Crabs order now. They don't come up till the bottom of the first, but might as well give you a run-through of what that looks like now as well. Batting first for Southern Maryland is Jack Sundberg. Ruby Silva bats second. Jared Walker is in the 3 spot. David Harris bats 4th. Alex Crosby hits 5th. Zach Collier, playing in his second game, bats 6th. Braxton Lee, who had 4 hits yesterday, he bats 7th. Batting 8th is Ryan Haug. Haug was just 1 for 1 yesterday. Reached base 5 times in the game via 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches. And then Jordan Howard is playing in his first game of the season as a Blue Crab this year. He was in Double-A with the Amarillo Sod Poodles for a few games to start the year. He had 1 at bat, he walked, he scored a run, but that was about all he got as far as his time with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. So he's back with the Blue Crabs, and I'm sure if he can put up some good numbers here in Southern Maryland, he might find himself back at the AA or AAA level later this season. Jordan Howard played with the Blue Crabs last year after taking 2 years off after college, and he played quite well, hit over 300 with the Blue Crabs in the second half of the season. Well, we're glad you could join us for a beautiful Saturday night. The temperatures are up a little bit here in Southern Maryland. It's been very cold the last couple of days, but definitely warmer today. The temperatures at game time at 67 degrees, and by 10 p.m., it'll be down in the mid-50s. But last night's game, it dropped to the mid-40s. On Thursday, it was even colder, so it's nice that tonight at least about 5 to 10 degrees warmer. On Monday, if you're in the Maryland area, it's going to get a lot nicer. High of 79, Tuesday high of 76, and Wednesday a high of 78 degrees. So much, much warmer as far as the weather early next week is concerned. Well, we've gone through the lineups and given you the starting pitcher for the Blue Crabs tonight. Well, let's let you know who's starting for the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. It is Aaron Blair. Blair has had a little bit of major league action. He struggled in his lone appearance this year. He's pitched just one time. He is 0-1. He pitched 2 innings, allowed 4 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them were earned, and has a whip of 3.0. The batting average against very high at 364, and on top of that, he also hit 2 batters and walked 2 batters. So he recorded 6 outs. He allowed a total of 8 free passes. So in that game against High Point, the on-base percentage against was near 600. We'll step aside briefly. Aaron Blair looking to have a better outing this time out. Eddie Butler looking to do more of the same from his last appearance against Lexington. Well, the top of the first, and the first pitch is coming your way next on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Now, fans, it's time to welcome to the field your 2022 Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
So, what do you like about your home?
Go outside sometimes. Practice like hockey. I like to build Legos at home, ride my dirt bike.
Hometown isn't just a part of our name, it's who we are. We know Southern Maryland because it's our hometown. We are Hometown Real Estate. We'll see you at the park, the grocery store, or the ball field, and we know why living here is great. Give us a call today at 443-275-9910 or visit us online at wehelpyouhome.com. We are your neighbors. We are Hometown Real Estate. Let us help you home.
Well, that was a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, just moments away from the first pitch here at the Reg in Waldorf. We'll run back through the lineups for the Wild Health Genomes, give you another look at Eddie Butler, who's starting for the Blue Crabs, and run through a couple of notes from last night's game as we are just moments away from first pitch here at the Reg in Waldorf. Austin Rooney, glad to have you along for the ride in tonight's broadcast. We should have Andrew Banstra with us not too long from now, maybe early next week. He's going to be joining us periodically throughout the season. Does a lot of work on field. If you were with us earlier in the broadcast, you got to see Andrew Banstra do a bit of a presentation for Darryl Thompson on Darryl Thompson night as the ALPB Pitcher of the Year in 2019 and 2021, along with the Blue Crabs pitching coach, has been honored tonight, and rightfully so. The man has had a terrific career on the field and a very upstanding man off the field in the community. Well, again, just moments away from first pitch. Let's run through those Kentucky Wild Health Genome lineups. It's Demetrius Moorer who will lead off. He's playing center field. Riley Mahan bats second. He's at short. Wellington Dotel, the right fielder, bats third. Chris Shaw, the cleanup hitter, bats fourth. Felix P.A. is the designated hitter. He bats fifth. Chase Velo bats sixth. Will Decker in the seventh spot. Robbie Kellerman bats eighth. Again, he was out of the lineup earlier today in favor of Kiefer, but Kiefer no longer in the lineup. They've replaced him with Robbie Kellerman and Riley Mahan, who shifts from third over to short. And Robbie Kellerman, who was catching last night, is over at third base. The nine hitter in tonight's game is Breland Almadova. Well, Moore steps in to lead things off in the top of the first inning. In last night's contest between these two teams, a 14-9 win for Southern Maryland. The Blue Crabs scored 4 in the first. They added 5 more in the fourth. Led 9-0 before a 7 spot was put up by the Wild Health Genomes in the seventh. First pitch to Moore, fastball, a little bit inside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Wild Health cut it to 9-7 before the Blue Crabs ultimately extended that lead to 12-7 and won 14-9 as the 1-0 pitch chases the leadoff man Demetrius Moorer off the plate in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Your umpires for tonight's game behind home plate, it's Kirk Powell, Jim Clayton's at third, and Levante Palmer at first. The 2-0 pitch from Butler. Again, it's inside in the count, 3 balls and no strikes on Demetrius Moorer. So far, just fastballs from Eddie Butler. 3-0. A little bit inside, and that's a walk. He's throwing low 90s, upper 80s against Demetrius Moorer. Not the start that Eddie Butler was looking for under any circumstances, as he walks the leadoff man on 4 pitches. Well, it's Riley Mahan who comes in batting second. He plays shortstop today, played third base last time out. Runner on first base, no outs. Top of the first inning and no score from the Reg in Waldorf. First pitch cut on and fouled back, so Butler, after walking the leadoff man, Demetrius Moorer, on 4 pitches, induces a swing and a foul on the first pitch of the second at bat to Riley Mahan. Demetrius Moorer with a short lead off first. 1-0-1 pitch. Called strike in the count, 0-2. Butler not known for his walks. Walked 33 batters in 80 innings last year. And this year, did not walk a batter in 3 innings. As Butler tosses over to first and chases Moorer back to the bag. Count, no balls and 2 strikes in the left-handed hitting Riley Mahan. 0-2's upstairs in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, a lot of fastballs so far from Butler. Topped out at 91. The 1-2, cut on and foul back. And The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Blue Crabs come into this one having won 6 consecutive games. They won the last 3 games at Lexington at Wild Health Field. They share their field with the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. Then swept a 2-game set here against Staten Island and won the opener against the Genomes. The 1-2 pitch from Butler is away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Demetrius Moorer from first. Butler gets a sign from his catcher, Ryan Haug. The 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball, left center field deep. Zach Collier's trying to get a beat on that one. He's not going to get there. Goes all the way to the wall. Moore sent around third. He'll score. It's an RBI double from Riley Mahan. And the Wild Health Genomes have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Well, already over the course of the first 2 batters, Eddie Butler has allowed more base runners than he did all of his first appearance. He only went 3 innings in his first appearance, but he allowed just 1 hit and no walks. 1 run over 3 innings of work. Tonight, he walked Demetrius Moorer to lead things off, and Riley Mahan went opposite field with an RBI double to left center. Here comes Wellington Dotel. Reached base safely a couple of times last night as the first pitch on the outside, half for a strike. And the count 0-1 was moved up from the 5 spot in the lineup to the 3 hole as Felix P.A. switches spots with him. 0-1 pitch, ground ball back to the mound, throw to second, they got him, throw to first, they got him as well. Oh my, what a play. Butler fielded the ball at the mound, threw to second, and got the out back at second as Mahan had too large of a lead. And then it was the shortstop, Jordan Howard, who tagged him out at second and threw to first and got Wellington Dotel, who does not run all that well, on a double play ball and in an unconventional style. Either way, there are 2 outs in the top of the first inning. A 1-6-3 double play. That combination isn't unorthodox, but the way it occurred was the first pitch inside for ball 1 on Chris Shaw, a former major leaguer, played in the MLB as recently as 2019 with the San Francisco Giants. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty. Well, what a way to grab a couple of outs in the top of the first inning for Eddie Butler. Just allowed an RBI double. Things look like they might spiral out of control as the 1-1 pitch is up and away in the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Butler set. 2-1. Called strike in the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base paths empty. The 2-2 pitch cut on and drilled in the air to right field. Back to the warning track. It is gone. A solo shot from Chris Shaw, who goes deep over the right field wall. And it is a 2-0 lead for the Genomes. Chris Shaw destroyed that ball to the right. And all of a sudden, Wild Health is rolling in the top of the first. Eddie Butler did not have this sort of trouble his last time out. This is a guy with 5 years of Major League Baseball experience, most recently in 2018. Had an ERA under 4 in the MLB in 2017. First pitch low for ball 1 on the 5-hitter Felix P.A. I'm not sure that Wild Health, as the 1-0 is fouled off behind home plate in the count 1-1, had a single pitch that was hit that hard yesterday. either on the gapper to left center or on the solo home run, I should say. It's a 2-0 lead now for Wild Health. The 1-1 offering a cut and a miss, and the count 1-2. Felix PA also played parts of 5 seasons in Major League Baseball, most recently back in 2012. Played with the Orioles for some time. Also in Atlanta, as the 1-2 is low and in. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base paths empty after the solo home run from Chris Shaw. 2-0 Wild Health Genomes over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swinging a ground ball to second. Ruby Silva didn't field it on the backhand. He got a piece of it, wasn't fully in front of it, and he does not come up with it cleanly. It'll be an error on the second baseman, Ruby Silva, and there's a runner on first now with 2 outs. Bad break for Eddie Butler and the Blue Crabs defensively. Looked like they were about to get out of the first inning. Instead, they'll need to do a little bit more work after PA reaches on the E4. Just to recap how we got here, Demetrius Moorer led off this game with a walk. Riley Mahan followed him up with an RBI double. First pitch to Chase Velo, cut on and fouled back to the screen in the count 0-1. So Mahan doubled in Moorer. Wellington Dotel then grounded into an unconventional 1-6-3 double play as Butler tossed to second. The shortstop Jordan Howard tagged out Mahan, who had a little bit too large of a lead off of second, and flipped to first for the out there. So that was a 1-6-3 double play before Chris Shaw went deep to right on a solo home run. There's the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. And then most recently, Felix PA reached on an error by the second baseman, Ruby Silva. 1-1 is low in the count. 2 balls and a strike now. Southern Maryland yet to come to the plate, but Wild Health has made them pay already. It's 2-0. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 2-2. Felix PA leads off of first base. Two 2-0 Blue Crabs trail the Genomes. Blue Crabs yet to come to the plate. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled off down the first base side out of play, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. A short lead off of first base from Felix PA. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, foul down behind home plate. It looked like it was headed to center field from my vantage point, but I misread the ball off the bat. A foul ball, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on the righty Chase Velo. Velo wasn't in the lineup last night. It was Andrew Kellerman behind home plate. Kellerman wearing number 12 today. He's got a bit of a jersey issue as to whether he's wearing 12, whether he's wearing 23. They weren't sure until right before the game and found out, well, yeah, Kellerman is wearing 12. 2-2 pitch, cut on and grounded foul to the first base side. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two runs already in for Wild Health. Riley Mahan doubled in Demetrius Moorer earlier in the inning. Mahan was later picked off as part of a 1-6-3 double play, but Chris Shaw belted a solo home run to right. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's low in the dirt, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Genomes lost last night's game 14-9. They did not score a run until the 6th inning. Meanwhile, the Blue Crabs put up 4 in the first and 5 in the fourth. And a 9-0 lead. It was cut into for sure as the 3-2 pitch swung on and missed. That gets Eddie Butler out of the first inning, but not before the Wild Health Genomes scored 2. The Blue Crabs would like 14 runs tonight. They're going to have to get the bat started next in the bottom of the first inning.
This is Jack Sundberg, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Southern Maryland nothing, and the Wild Health Genomes 2 on a terrific evening in late April. April the 30th. Tomorrow it's May 1st, and at that point it feels like summer in the air. Temperature's already warming up quite a bit here in Waldorf, near 70 this evening. But it's the Genomes who hold a 2-0 lead after a 2-run first off of the starter Eddie Butler. Well, here comes Jack Sundberg. Everybody knew Jack Sundberg had a lot of steals and had a good eye at the plate, but I'm not sure anyone expected him to have the numbers he has right now, hitting .412 and a .655 on-base percentage. First pitch strike at the knees, and the count 0-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Sundberg in his 5th year of professional baseball. Played in the Frontier League last year. Here's the 0-1, swinging a ground ball over to second. Again, trouble fielding. This time it's Decker, no play at first. You'd have to imagine that's going to be an E4. But Sundberg is aboard to lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. Reminds me a lot of what happened to Ruby Silva. Although Ruby Silva now comes to the plate looking to do some damage offensively. And Silva was outstanding in yesterday's 14-9 win. He only had 4 at-bats before he was taken out of the game. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs on the homestand. He's hitting .538 with 4 runs scored and 7 RBIs. First pitch misses away for ball 1 on the left-handed hitter. Is officially credited Will Decker with an error. On the mound tonight, it's Aaron Blair for the Wild Health Genomes. Runner goes, pitch a swing and a miss, throw down to second, not in time. And to the surprise of exactly nobody, Sundberg has stolen second base. So a runner on second now with nobody out, and all of a sudden the Blue Crabs have a runner in scoring position. The count 1 ball and 1 strike after the swing and a miss on Ruby Silva. Silva will be followed by Jared Walker, who had 5 hits in last night's game. The 1-1, that's away, and the count 2-1. Runner on second base, nobody out. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty Silva. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the lefty. So far, starting pitcher for the Genomes, Aaron Blair, has topped out at 93.5 miles an hour. 2-1, swinging a slow ground ball over to third. Trouble fielding it. There's not going to be a play at first. We'll have to see if Robbie Kellerman will be credited with an error or not. Kellerman is the catcher normally for the Genomes. Had to make a last moment adjustment and put him in the field. Well, I beg your pardon, the maximum velocity for Blair at 87. It's the Blue Crabs pitcher Eddie Butler who throws as high as 93 to 94. Runners on first and second now with nobody out. 2 errors credited against the Genomes on just 2 batters. And here comes Jared Walker, first pitch swinging, hit high in the air, deep right center field, back to the warning track at the wall. Oh, what an outstanding catch as the Blue Crabs are forced to run back to their bases, and there's a double play. Oh, out in center field, Demetrius Moorer made the catch of the night, and in the process, double off Ruby Silva, who was between second and third base, ready to score. But instead, it's a double play, an 8-4-3 double play, and there are 2 away. So after the fielding lets down Eric Blair, the fielding picks him up with an incredible double play on what should have been a surefire extra base hit. Was nearly out of the ballpark. Sundberg remains on second. But it's an 8-4-3 double play, and the Blue Crabs still trail in this game 2-0. Here is David Harris, the designated hitter. 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Had a big series against Staten Island. The pitch gets away from the catcher, Chase Velo, and Sundberg able to advance to third on the play. Well, the Blue Crabs were expecting to score a couple of runs, and then they had to hustle back to their respective bags after an amazing catch going up against the wall, maybe only 2 feet shy of the top of the wall, as Demetrius Moorer probably didn't rob a home run, but it would have easily been extra bases. 1-0. That's in there for a called strike. I beg your pardon, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now. No, it is 1-1. The first pitch was the one that got by the catcher, Chase Velo, and the second pitch was a called strike. The 1-2, high in the air, left field, but the left fielder, Breland Almadova, there to make the grab. A couple of very well-hit balls. Those actually resulted in the outs today. The Blue Crabs strand 1 at the end of 1. It's the Genomes 2 and Southern Maryland nothing. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the second inning, first pitch swinging from the 6-hitter, or I beg your pardon, the 7-hitter in the Genomes order. That's Will Decker. And the count, no balls and 1 strike on the lefty. 2-0 Genomes lead. And the 0-1, Decker goes fishing at a pitch well outside, and the count 0-2 on the lefty. Genome scored 2 runs. 1 run came in on an RBI double from Mahan. 0-2 cut on and popped up third base side. Alex Crosby calls off the shortstop Jordan Howard and makes the grab for the first out, 1 away. Here comes Robbie Kellerman, who was not expected to play in today's game. Was supposed to be the catcher and is listed as a catcher, but playing third base today and clearly not all that comfortable with the position because he made an error on the first ball. Here a chance of ice cream in the crowd. We heard those chants last night. I'm not sure if they were got them. First pitch cut on and missed. Count 0-1 on the outer half. Top of the second inning. Southern Maryland 2. Southern Maryland nothing, I should say. The Genomes 2. 0-1, another wave and a miss, and the count 0-2. Butler set. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Well, Butler likes some ice cream and just got a strikeout. Base paths empty and 2 outs. In the top of the second inning, the Genomes lead Southern Maryland 2-0. Kellerman goes down on strikes. First pitch from Butler. Right down Broadway for a strike. We discussed this on the last broadcast. We'll have to get maybe some of our fans' opinions. If it's a pitch right down the middle, and that one swung on and grounded over to second, Silva scoops it up and tosses to first. We're going to get to this in the bottom of the second inning. Stick with us. We'll have more on what to name right down Broadway when we come back. It's the Genomes 2 and the Blue Crabs nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Matt Hibbert, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the second, Genomes 2, Blue Crabs nothing. Crosby steps in from the left side and takes a called strike one on the outer half. Blue Crabs had 2 batters reach in the first inning. We'll get to that a little bit later. 0-1 is away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty Crosby. It was Jack Sundberg who reached on an error by the second baseman, Will Decker. And then Ruby Silva reached on an error by the third baseman, Robbie Kellerman. As the 1-1 pitch is a little low and in, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. But then Jared Walker ripped a fly ball deep right center field, and it was the center fielder, Demetrius Moorer, who made an outstanding catch, and they ended up doubling off Ruby Silva from first base. The 2-1 pitch, a little bit low, was close though, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. So an 8-4-3 double play before a fly out from David Harris. 3-1 pitch. Oh, a called strike. Alex Crosby can't believe it. He dropped his bat. He thought he was headed over to first. Looked back at the home plate umpire. Again, your umpires for tonight's game, it's Kirk Powell behind home, Levante Palmer at first, and Jim Clayton over at third base. 3-2. Swinging a ground ball foul to the first base side, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Crosby was convinced he'd earned himself a walk. Crosby leading off the second inning for Southern Maryland. He'll be followed by Zach Collier and Braxton Lee. Here is the 3-2 pitch. That's away for ball 4. So Crosby earns himself a walk, and there's a runner on first base with nobody out. 2-0 in favor of the Wild Health Genomes over the Blue Crabs. Genomes scored 2 runs back in the top of the first inning off of an RBI double and a solo home run. Well, I said before the end of the top of the second that we'd continue to discuss what to call right down Broadway. We have Piney Church Road right here in Southern Maryland. That's an option. There are a couple other main roads here in Waldorf. The question is, what do we call right down Broadway? Because we got to call it something else. First pitch misses away for ball 1. If you let us know in the comments, we'll let you know what we think. If it's good enough to go for the future of what a pitch right down the middle of the plate is going to be called. Austin Rooney, glad to have you on hand. The pitch, swinging a high fly ball, deep right field, back to the track. It is way out of here. Zach Collier goes deep with a 2-run shot, and the Blue Crabs have leveled the score at 2. What a hit from Zach Collier as he punched a pack, or he packed a punch, I should say, in that pitch as he drove it way out of here to right. And this one even at 2-2. And the first pitch hit high in the air. Shallow left field. Breland Almadova moves in, and there is the catch for the first out. And here comes Ryan Haug after Braxton Lee popped up to left center. But a 2-run shot from Zach Collier has made this a 2-2 game. Way out in deep right field As Haug squared up to bunt, pulled back and takes a strike. Just to the right of the Blaine sign there and the Hoffman sheet metal sign. Right near the foul pole. But certainly in fair territory, about 20 feet to the left of the foul pole. The 0-1, that's away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Haug. Haug will be followed by Jordan Howard. Howard was an affiliated ball before he was promoted to, or was actually released back to the Blue Crabs here. And that pitch cut on and driven foul to the Legends Club. A couple of fans ducking out of the way of the ball, a little bit frightened as it was coming in their direction. Base paths empty and 1 out. 2-2 between the Blue Crabs and the Genomes. The 1-2 offering in the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Blair worked out of trouble back in the first inning. Got a little bit of help from his fielder, his center fielder, I should say, Demetrius Moorer. 2-2. Low one in the dirt, and the count 3-2, as he worked a miracle on a double play ball. As the Blue Crabs looked like they had picked up their first run of the game. It was going to score Sundberg and Silva, but instead, Silva doubled off first base. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes in the bottom of the second inning. The Blue Crabs 2 and the Genomes 2. Here's the pitch. Came way in and may have even hit Ryan Haug on the hand. Either way, he's aboard with 1 out. Runner on first base now for Southern Maryland. So Ryan Haug reaches on a walk. He had 4 walks or hit by pitches in the last game alone. He walked twice, was hit by a pitch twice. He was 1 for 1 other than that. Also had a sacrifice fly mixed in. First pitch is cut on and tapped foul from Jordan Howard, who wears number 6. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Haug from first. 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. The Blue Crabs 2 and the Genomes 2. Blair of the pitch. Swing and a miss. Set a pitch way low and out of the zone. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. Haug from first, 1 out. The Blue Crabs have evened the score on a 2-run shot from Zach Collier to the right field side. The 0-2, cut on and missed, struck him out. Jordan Howard swings over a breaking ball, and there are 2 away now in the bottom of the second inning. And here comes Jack Sundberg. Sundberg has reached base in 6 of his last 7 plate appearances. Had 3 walks yesterday, was also 2 for 3. He is 0 for 1 today, but he reached base via a walk. Now he tries to bunt down the third base side. And the third baseman, Robbie Kellerman's not going to get there as it goes foul. It's a high bunt, maybe 10 feet in the air before it bounced foul. Definitely not what Jack Sundberg was looking for on that bunt. The count, no balls and 1 strike as he was bunting for a base hit. Haug leads off first base here in the bottom of the second. The Blue Crabs 2 and the Genomes 2. Oh, 1. Up and away. Runner goes. Throw to second. may have had him, but the second baseman or the shortstop dropped the ball. Riley Mahan was in position, but he didn't come up with the ball, and Ryan Haug is safe at second. So runner in scoring position now for the Blue Crabs, who are running constantly on the base paths. Jack Sundberg stole a base back in the first. Now when Jack Sundberg's at the plate, it's Ryan Haug who steals second. The count, a ball and a strike. Here's the pitch, low and in. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. When you walk as much as Sundberg does, I think you have free reign to decide what you want to swing at and what you don't. In this homestand alone, he's 3 for 6, but he has 8 walks. You include the walks, he's reached base 11 out of 14 times coming in. 2-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball. First baseman knocks it down. Going to be a close play at first, but he is out. Nicely done by Chris Shaw to knock the ball down and toss to Aaron Blair in time to get the out. We're finished with 2 innings of play. The Blue Crabs strand 1. At the end of 2, it's Southern Maryland 2 and the Genomes 2. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Jack Sundberg, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the third inning from the Reg in Waldorf. It is the Blue Crabs 2 and the Wild Health Genomes 2. The Genomes struck back in the first inning with a home run and a RBI double. The Blue Crabs got the 2 runs back in the bottom of the second inning on a 2-run shot from Zach Collier. And that's where we stand now, 2-2 in the top of the third. Well, leading off for Kentucky, they've got Demetrius Moorer after a 1-2-3 top of the second. First pitch, a called strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Moorer followed by Mahan, and that ball hit high in the air. Center field straight away. Sundberg moves in about a single step and makes the catch for the first out. Here is Riley Mahan. So 5 straight right now retired by Eddie Butler. after he ran into trouble early in the first. Pitch from Butler. Swinging a ground ball, first base side. It's a fair ball, and it's going to be extra bases. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. The first base umpire, Levante Palmer, said it was a foul ball. I thought I saw him say it was a fair ball. Either way, there's one out, and the count 0-1 now on the lefty. Oh, 1 pitch. Missed a little low and away in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty. Back in the first, Mahan doubled to left center field. 1-1 pitches away, count 2-1. Scored Demetrius Moorer, who walked to lead things off. Mahan was later victim of a double play ball at second base. Is the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss in the count 2-2. He was victim of the double play ball to Wellington Dotel, who had grounded back to the mound, and Eddie Butler threw to second and got the lead out. 2-2. Swung on and fouled back off the netting, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Definitely not a traditional play for Butler to make, to throw the ball to the second base on a non-force play, but that's what he did back in the first inning, and it paid off. Base path's empty, count 2-2. 1 away in the top of the third. A pitch upstairs, count 3-2. It was the Genomes who struck first. The Blue Crabs have responded. We're even here at the Reagan Waldorf. 3-2 pitch. That's low. And ball 4. And Eddie Butler had retired 5 straight, and now he walks a batter. It's his second walk of the game, and he's not all that prone to walking batters. He had not walked a batter in his first appearance. It was a start when he went 3 innings. Butler's now thrown 47 pitches. Have to wonder what that pitch count is. I'd be surprised if it was much more than 75 or 80, considering he only went 3 innings his first time out. First pitch, swinging a foul tip from Wellington Dotel. Dotel played as high as AAA. Had a big game yesterday against the Blue Crabs. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, and the count 0 balls and 2 strikes. Dotel was 1 for 2 yesterday. Had a double and drove in 2 runs. 0-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball is short, onto first for 1, back onto second for 1, I should say. Back onto first, not in time. So there are 2 outs now and a runner on first base. And Chris Shaw about to dig in from the left side. Runner on first base now in the top of the 3rd inning. Blue Crabs even with the Wild Health Genomes at 2. Genomes scored 2 in the first. Blue Crabs scored 2 in the second. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. Is either team going to score 2 in the 3rd? That's yet to be seen. There's a runner on first base, though, for the Genomes. Shaw digs back in. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down a second is in time. They got him. Wellington Dotel thrown out trying to steal second. So, in some sense, it's a 1-2-3 inning. Not the most conventional, but Eddie Butler only credited with facing 3 batters, and at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it's the Blue Crabs 2 and the Wild Health Genomes 2. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Jack Sundberg, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
You just heard from Jack Sundberg moments ago. Sundberg ended the top or the bottom of the second inning, I should say. And it's Ruby Silva to lead things off now in the bottom of the third. Silva followed by Walker and Harris in a 2-2 ball game from the Reagan Waldorf. First pitch swinging from Silva, grounded over to first, nicely handled by Shaw. He'll step on the bag, and there is one away. One out in the bottom of the third inning for Jared Walker. Walker gave the ball a ride his first time up. Hit the ball to the warning track in right center, but somehow it was tracked down by Demetrius Moorer. Prevented that from being a 2 RBI double. First pitch to Walker. Called strike, and instead of being a 2 RBI double, it was a double play as Silva didn't get back to first in time. 0-1. That's away, and the count 1-1 strike from Aaron Blair. Has an 11.25 ERA, allowed 4 runs. Or beg your pardon, 3 earned runs, a total of 6 runs in 2 innings in his first game. 1-1 runs in, the count 2-1. Blue Crabs 2, the Genomes 2 in the bottom of the third. Nobody on a pleasant evening in Waldorf, Maryland. Down in the Charles County area, about an hour south of Baltimore and 45 minutes south of Washington, D.C. 2-1, swung on, lifted in the air to left field. Breland Almadova takes 2 steps over to left center and makes a catch for the second out. Oh, well hit ball from Walker, but doesn't find a gap, and there are 2 away. Here comes David Harris. Harris got a good piece of a ball back in the first inning. roped it to left, but it was right at Breland Almadova who made the grab. Two away, bottom of the third inning. First pitch called strike right down the middle. Could say right down Main Street. What is another word, another name here in Waldorf we can decide upon? I'll have to talk to Andrew Banstra when he comes back up here what we're going to call it. 0-1 pitch. That's a little inside. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. For today, you could say right down Darrell Thompson Drive. It is Darrell Thompson Day at the Reg in Waldorf, and maybe that's what we'll do. 1-1. That one misses in, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And there's one thing we know Darrell Thompson is. He throws a lot of strikes. Not someone who's going to miss the zone all that much. Does not walk a lot of batters. So for now, that makes sense. Right down the middle, right down Darrell Thompson Drive. 2-1 pitch, a breaking ball, and David Harris way out ahead of it. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was looking fastball that time. Thought he might have had one. But instead fooled by the breaking ball. Base path's empty, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch in a 2-2 game. Swinging a ground ball over to short. Fielded by Mahan. Throw to first. He's offline, and he's going to be safe. Chris Shaw had to come off the bag, tried a swipe tag behind the back to clip David Harris on the way by, but instead, Harris aboard on what I'd imagine is going to be the 3rd error of the game for the Wild Health Genomes. So a runner on first now with 2 outs in the 3rd, and it is in fact the 3rd error of the game charged against the Genomes. They had 2 errors back in the bottom of the 1st inning. They were not cost by the errors, thanks to an outstanding catch in center field by Demetrius Moorer. First pitch to the 5-hitter Alex Crosby's away. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Crosby walked his first time up before Zach Collier hit a 2-run blast to right field back in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball off the plate in the count 2-0. Good call by the home plate umpire, Kirk Powell. Your umpires yet again today. Kirk Powell, Jim Clayton, and Levante Palmer. 2-0 pitch upstairs in the count 3-0. Harris from first, Crosby at the plate. 3-0. That's a strike. Just below the belt area. In the outer half of the plate. Swung on and tap foul off his right foot. Count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitter, Alex Crosby. Crosby's got a terrific average this year at .357. He walked his first time up. His on-base percentage, though, Crosby's at .438. That was coming into the game, probably now near .350 after the walk. We don't have official numbers on that, though, as a 3-2 pitch up and away for ball 4. So 2 plate appearances and 2 walks for Alex Crosby. Runners on first and second now for Southern Maryland in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Zach Collier to the dish, who hit a 2-run home run. His first time up and tied the game at 2. Collier was 1 for 4 yesterday, reached base twice. First pitch, a breaking ball. Right down Darrell Thompson Drive. I think that's what we're going to go with. Oh, 1 pitch, low and in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Zach Collier. Harris from second, Crosby from first. Here's the 1-1. Low one in the dirt, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Zach Collier kicks around some dirt. He steps out of the batter's box, something that they're trying to work on across baseball and time of play. They're desperately trying to minimize the length of games. And Major League Baseball, get there in one moment as the 2-1 pitch is away, or inside I should say, and the count 3 balls and a strike. They are desperately trying to limit the time of games by installing a pitch clock. The pitch clock, I think, will do a lot, but it has to be enforced. You know, if they're going to put in a pitch clock, they have to make sure the pitch clock works. And the umpires are enforcing the call. 3-1. Outside, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Well, Silva grounded out. Walker flied out to left. Harris reached via an error. And now walks to Crosby and Collier. The bases are loaded for Braxton Lee. Lee started the year very slowly. It was 1 for 17, but 4 for 6 in yesterday's contest. All 5 of his hits this year have been singles. And a meeting at the mound. Your twist and shout over the speakers here at the Reagan Waldorf. One of the all-time greats. The stadium music is something that is wildly undervalued. Between that and Seven Nation Army and some of the other greats, Zombie Nation, one of the really good ones. There are so many outstanding songs played at stadiums. It's a lot of fun. It can be loud, but it's a lot of fun. Bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And here's Braxton Lee. First pitch on the inner half for a strike, and the count 0-1. Lee will be followed by Ryan Haug, the catcher, who stands on deck and hits from the right side. Behind him, Jordan Howard. 0-1. That comes in and hits Lee. Hit him right around the knee area. And that's going to score a run for the Blue Crabs. Not the most comfortable RBI for Braxton Lee, but he'll pick up the ribby nonetheless. And the Blue Crabs have their first lead of the game. It's 3-2. Well, that's one way to manufacture a run. An error, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. And here comes Haug. And if you want someone who is adept at getting walked and getting hit by pitches, you found the guy. Between yesterday and today, he's walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch twice. Haug digs back in from the right side. Pitch bounces about 3 feet in front of home plate. Well, there's no question that Aaron Blair's control has been a little bit iffy at best here in the third inning. He's now walked 4 batters and hit 1 in 2 2/3 innings. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Pitch cut on and a foul tip behind home plate. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 3-2 Blue Crabs. 1-1 is away in the count. 2 balls and a strike on the right-handed hitting Hog. Or Haug, I should say. Now, if you all have any of your favorite stadium songs, please throw them in the comments of the game. We'd love to hear them. Whether you're a fan of Zombie Nation or some of the other great songs out there that they play at stadiums here at the Reg, no different. 2-1. Oh, it's on the inner half. In the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. From third, Alex Crosby. Zach Collier at second, Braxton Lee at first. Lee also picked up an RBI on the hit-by pitch. Blair set. The pitch swung on, a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. 1 run scores. They send Collier. The throw's offline. It's a 2 RBI single, and Haug trots into second. The Blue Crabs have opened up a 3-run lead. It's 5-2 on the single up the middle. And Southern Maryland back in front. Well, Ryan Haug has had a terrific couple of days. He's 2 for 2 with 3 walks and 2 hit-by pitches. Also added a sac fly and now 2 RBIs this evening. So Crosby scored and Collier scored. Meanwhile, Braxton Lee to third. First pitch away to Jordan Howard, and the count 1-0. Swung on and foul back. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on the lefty. Oh, well, I guess the first pitch was called a strike. I didn't hear the call, but it appears that was the call. So the count not 1-1, but 0-2 on the left-handed hitter. With Lee from third and Haug from second, the pitch 0-2 is low and away, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Howard with the Sod Poodles, the AA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks to start the season. "25 years of age as the 1-2 is away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on second and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The Blue Crabs already have 3 runs in the inning. The home plate umpire, Kirk Powell, calls time momentarily. Southern Maryland an opportunity to add some insurance runs. Already up 5-2, but 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs. After Howard, we'll be back to the top of the order with Jack Sundberg. Count 2-2. Runners on second and third. 5-2 Blue Crabs. Blue Crabs, actually the same number of hits of the as the Genomes, but 2 walks and a hit batsman along with a trio of errors from the Wild Health Genomes. This is where you find yourself. The pitch, swinging a ground ball over to short. Fielded, the throw to first is in time. Nicely done by Riley Mahan to end the inning. But not before the Blue Crabs score 3 runs and lead this one 5-2. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Raul Shah, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th inning, the Blue Crabs 2, or Blue Crabs 5, and the Genomes 2, I should say. So 5-2 Southern Maryland, and the first pitch to the cleanup hitter in the Kentucky lineup, Chris Shaw, is a little inside for ball 1. Top of the 4th inning. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and lined into center field, but the center fielder, Jack Sundberg, drifts over 3 or 4 steps and makes the grab for the first out. Well, Eddie Butler ran into some trouble back in the first inning. Allowed a walk, an RBI double, and a lucky double play before Chris Shaw went deep and hit a solo home run. But since then, he has really settled things down. Has not allowed a base hit since then. As the first pitch, a strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1 on the lefty, Felix P.A. And that pitch in there for a called strike. There's a big wave and a miss. That's strike 3. Butler goes to the breaking ball. And there are 2 away, so a quick 2 up and 2 down from Eddie Butler. It's a fly out to center and a 3-pitch strikeout on the former big leaguer, Felix P.A. Well, Butler, who looked like his pitch count was getting up there quickly, at just 57 pitches through 3 2/3. First pitch, a wave and a miss from Felix P.A. And I think to have an idea of how far he's going to go in this game, you'd have to know his pitch count. And I'm not sure exactly what that number is. But considering no one's warming up in the bullpen, you'd have to imagine it's upwards of 75. It's the 0-1 pitch. A little bit low in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the 6-hitter, Chase Velo. Pitch a called strike. Oh no, that was called a ball. Our scoreboard here in the ballpark had it as a called strike. Did not see a sign though from the home plate umpire as that one is swung on and driven in the air. Deep right center field. It's the right fielder Braxton Lee who gets under it about 10 feet in front of the warning track and makes the catch for the final out. Well, yet again, it is the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes who are sent down in order at the end of 3.5. It is the Blue Crabs 5 and the Genomes 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
Go outside sometimes. Practice like hockey. I like to build Legos at home, riding my dirt bike.
Hometown isn't just a part of our name, it's who we are. We know Southern Maryland because it's our hometown. We are Hometown Real Estate. We'll see you at the park, the grocery store, or the ball field. And we know why living here is great. Give us a call today at 443-275-9910 or visit us online at wehelpyouhome.com. We are your neighbors. We are Hometown Real Estate. Let us help you home.
Bottom 4 from the Reagan Waldorf. Blue Crabs lead this one 5-2 over the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. Well, thank you for tuning in on a pleasant Saturday evening. First pitch to Sundberg. He bunts that one foul back off the screen. It's the second bunt attempt from Sundberg in this game that's left you desiring it a little bit more. And I think that he was trying to bunt that one down the third baseline. He popped a bunt up down the third baseline earlier in this game, and that one was way back toward the screen. Just didn't get the ball down. 0-1 to Sundberg. Well, that was not even close, as the pitch from Aaron Blair missed behind Jack Sundberg. It wasn't intentional. He didn't try to miss him, just missed him badly. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Jack Sundberg. It slipped out of his hand maybe. He sort of looked at his hand like, what just happened? Here's the 1-1 pitch to Sundberg. That's away in the count 2-1. Base paths empty in the bottom of the 4th inning. Blue Crabs have a 5-2 lead over the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. Here's the 2-1. And yet again, he threw the ball behind Jack Sundberg. If I'm Sundberg at this point, like, where do you want me to stand? Should I stand over by the dugout? I'm not sure the last time I've seen a batter that has had 2 pitches miss way behind him. But that's the situation. They're going to have a couple of coaches come out and have a chat with him and make sure everything's all right with his hand. I think it's as much an issue with his hand and potentially a game-ending issue for him as much as it is anything else. Either his inability to get a grip on the baseball or something else, and that's going to do it. Blair exits the game mid-count as he could not get a good grip on the baseball. And now Chris Shaw, the first baseman, comes up to have a chat with the umpires and the coaching staff. The head coach for the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes, your manager, Mark Minicozy, was there with Villanueva. He is the pitching coach, also a pitcher for the Wild Health Genomes. And they're going to bring in a new pitcher. I'm not sure if this new pitcher, we'll let you know who that is when we see, had a chance to warm up prior. So this might be a lengthy delay. And then he comes into this game mid-count on Jack Sundberg. Either way, that'll do it for Aaron Blair. He goes 4+ innings of work. Allows 5 runs on, well, just 2 hits. And of those runs, just 2 of those 5 runs are earned. He also walked 3 batters, struck out 1, and allowed a solo shot. Well, the new pitcher coming into the game will be Josh Martin. Well, we'll take a short break and be back after this with the pitching change in the bottom of the 4th inning, 5-2 Southern Maryland. Well, the new pitcher, Josh Martin, for the Kentucky Wildtail Genomes, had a chance to warm up momentarily, about 3 minutes or so, as the prior pitcher, Aaron Blair, exited the game. And the first pitch that he throws to Jack Sundberg on a 3-1 count is ball 4, a little bit low and away, as the Blue Crabs already have a 5-2 lead and now have a runner on first base with 1 out. It can't be easy for a pitcher coming into a game mid-count. We talk about coming into a game with runners already on base, but it's a totally different situation when you're mid-count. You know, especially down in the count 3-1 when you're trying to battle back mid-count. First pitch is low for ball 1 on Ruby Silva. And while the new pitcher, Josh Martin, had a chance to warm up a little bit, let's not act as if he had a full chance to really warm up and start from the very top and do everything he normally does when he warms up and enters a game. It's one of the issues that pitchers face when they come into a game because of an injury to another player. In this case, Blair threw 2 balls behind the back of Sundberg. This one is swung on and grounded foul to the first base side by Ruby Silva. And the count, a ball and a strike. Because normally there's a lot of stretching that goes into it, and then you start off throwing slowly, just tossing it, and you go from there to warming up. And it's a 10 to 15 minute process at least. And you have to condense all that into about 3.5 minutes. We took a break for about 3 minutes, and then Josh Martin had a little more time prior to that to actually get going. 1-1. The count, 2 balls and 1 strike as the pitch misses away. On the lefty Ruby Silva, Jack Sundberg, who steals a ton of bases, has not taken off yet for second, and I'm honestly a little surprised. Stole a base back in the first. He's 5 for 5 this year in stolen bases. 2-1. Swing and a foul tip. Back behind home plate, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Silva also has some good speed when he runs the ball out. Back in the first inning, had a ground ball to the third base side. Robbie Kellerman, who normally plays catcher, had trouble controlling it and didn't even throw to first. By the time he was up and ready, Silva was already in the bag. 2-2. Swing a ground ball. First base side. The first baseman, Shaw, has trouble handling it, and everyone's going to be safe. So Shaw had trouble with it. The new pitcher, Josh Martin, tried to come in there to help out, and Silva was safe at first base. It's going to be interesting to see what the call is. I'd imagine it's going to be an E3. Blue Crabs threatening again with runners on first and second with nobody out. Already leading this one 5-2. The Blue Crabs, winners of 6 consecutive. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Kentucky Wildtail Genomes just made their 4th error. They made 5 errors yesterday. They all came in the first 5 innings. First pitch, breaking ball, cut on and miss for strike 1 from Jared Walker. So it's an E3. Well, let's go through our errors today. Error on the second baseman, Will Decker. Error on the third baseman, Robbie Kellerman. That was on the hit from, or on the ball off the bat of Ruby Silva. In the third inning, it was an error again on Robbie Kellerman. That one off the bat of David Harris. As the 0-1 pitch, a little low and away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. And then we just had our 4th error, again off the bat of Ruby Silva. This time, though, it is the first baseman, Chris Shaw, former MLB guy, who makes the error. And I think at the third base with Robbie Kellerman, it's a little bit more understandable. 1-2 at the letters for a called strike. Or the 1-1 of the letters. Count now 1 and 2. Because Kellerman doesn't really play third base. He's a catcher. And they're asking him to play totally out of position here to try to make things work. If you haven't played the position in a long time, taking a couple warm-up reps is not going to be enough. Especially a position as difficult as third base. 1-2. Swinging a foul ball, first base side, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. In the top of the 1st, the Genomes took a 2-0 lead, but the Blue Crabs responded with 2 in the bottom of the 2nd and 3 more in the bottom of the 3rd. Have a 5-2 lead and are threatening for more. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Walker. It's well outside, and the count 2-2. Walker 0 for 2, not due to the fact he hasn't hit the ball hard. In fact, the opposite. Absolutely destroyed a ball to virtually dead center field. Hit the ball probably 390 feet out of the park in most parts of this ballpark, but instead an outstanding catch by Demetrius Moorer. That resulted in a double play to double off Ruby Silva back at first base. Here's the 2-2. Low and in, count 3 balls and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitter. Josh Martin's gone 4 2/3 innings so far in his year with the Wild Health Genomes. In his 3 appearances, he's walked 3 and he's allowed 2 hits, has not allowed an earned run in 4 2/3. It's good for a 1.07 whip coming in, but he's walked a batter. He had an error on the first baseman. The second batter, here's 3-2, swung on and grounded foul yet again. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. With runners on first and second, nobody out. Flag at a standstill. No wind this evening at the Reg in Waldorf. This pitch swung on, hit high in the air, shallow left field. It's going to see if anyone's going to get there, and an underhand basket catch by the shortstop. And now they're going to step on the bag. I'm not quite sure to see if it was just going to test. It was actually Breland Almodovar, the left fielder, who ran all the way into the infield. So either way, there's 1 out. One out, runners on first and second on a fly out toward left field. You understand there's a bit of an issue with our camera. We're going to try to see if we can get that all straightened out for you. As the first pitch a little bit upstairs and inside on David Harris. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Harris 0 for 2. He reached back in the 3rd inning on the error by Robbie Kellerman. Later came around to score. Scored on the hit by pitch to Braxton Lee. This pitch swung on, driven high in the air, deep left center, back to the wall, and is gone. A 3-run home run from David Harris, and the Blue Crabs blow it open. It's 8-2. Oh, David Harris gave that ball a ride over the Blackstone management sign in left center field, over toward the kids' pool. And the Blue Crabs have opened up a 6-run advantage behind a big hit from David Harris. Well, that's great news for the Blue Crabs. It couldn't happen to a better guy, David Harris. A great individual. We had a chance to talk with him earlier in the homestand after game one when he was 1 for 3 with a double, and he said just trying to hit the ball middle of the field, stay middle on the ball, and well, boy, did he ever. He crushed that one to left center, probably right around 400 feet on the home run. First pitch is low and out of the zone to Alex Crosby, but the Blue Crabs have added 3 more here in the fourth. Are in the midst of a 6-game win streak, but if they keep this up, I'm sure that will be 7 before you know it. They got to keep the pitching going. Last night, they led 9-0 and nearly surrendered the entire lead. For now, it's a 6-run lead for the Blue Crabs. This one swung on and fouled off to the third base side over toward the parking lot area. And the count 0-1. The count, no balls or 1 ball and 1 strike on the 5-hitter Crosby. Or 1 ball and 2 strikes, I beg your pardon, and that's the 1-2. It's cut on and missed, and there are 2 away. Two outs in the bottom of the 4th inning, 8-2 Blue Crabs. So after David Harris goes deep with a 3-run shot, the Blue Crabs have themselves an 8-2 lead. Zach Collier takes ball 1. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Collier hitting .333 on the year as the 1-0 is inside and the count 2-0. 2 for 6 so far. Also rocketed a 3-run shot to right field. Blue Crabs in first place in the North Division. 1 game ahead of the Long Island Ducks. As the 2-0 is low and the count 3-0. Three balls and no strikes on the 6-hitter Zach Collier. The Blue Crabs have scored 3 more here in the 4th and lead 8-2. The 3-0 is on the outer half and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. The Long Island Ducks are playing the Lexington Legends on the road tonight. And Lexington has an 8-2 lead. So if those 2 score lines hold up, the 3-1 pitch is swung on and tap foul first base side. The Lexington Legends leading Long Island 8-2, and the Blue Crabs leading the Genomes 8-2. Southern Maryland would have a 2-game lead over the Ducks. And remember, this is not for the whole season that's important. It's only for the first half. It's going to be 8 games into the season, 8 games into the first half, which is 66 games. 3-2. That pitch is a breaking ball a little bit outside. So Zach Collier earns a walk. The catcher, Chase Vallot, thought that was strike 3. He took 1 step to the dugout before Kirk Powell said, not so fast there. That's a ball, my friend. And so there is a runner on first base now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch, big wave and a miss on Braxton Lee. Lee was hit by a pitch. Also drove in a run in the process back in the 3rd inning as the bases were loaded. Had 4 hits in yesterday's game, part of a 4 for 6 day. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back behind home plate in the count. No balls and 2 strikes on the lefty. It's Zach Collier from first. The Blue Crabs already with 3 runs in after a David Harris 3-run blast. Oh, 2. Swinging a high fly ball. Center field straight away. Moore back to the warning track. Oh, and he makes a terrific over the shoulder catch. Oh, what a play by Demetrius Moorer. It's the second web gem of the day from the center fielder. And that ends the 4th inning. And steals an RBI double from the bat of Braxton Lee. We're finished with 4 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs 8 and the Wild Health Genomes 2. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Moments ago, you heard from Daryl Thompson. And it is Daryl Thompson night tonight at the Reg in Waldorf. Top of the 5th, 8-2 Blue Crabs. First pitch swinging on the leadoff man in the top of the 5th, Will Decker. It's fouled off to the third base side in the count 0-1. Some of the fun festivities, asking about GOATs of their respective leagues. Tom Brady, Daryl Thompson, Tiger Woods. Here in the Atlantic League, I think there's no question who the GOAT is. It's nice to put Thompson the same field as Brady and Woods. 0-1. Inner half for called strike. Count 0-2. Well, the fans were cheering for something up there. It might have been the ball was given away to a kid. I'd have to imagine so. 0-2. It's upstairs, count 1-2. Opening weekend from Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland. 0-2. Swing and a little tapper foul, third base side. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Opening day for the Blue Crabs was pushed back from Tuesday to Wednesday. Blue Crabs had quite a few fans here opening night. Got a little chill here. They were here at least for the first 5-6 innings. And then last night we had a sizable group. 1-2 pitch cut on and fouled back to the screen. Nice crowd on hand here on Saturday night as well, especially near the dugouts. Base path's empty. No outs. Top of the 5th. 8-2 Southern Maryland. 1-2. Swung on and squibbed foul behind home plate by Will Decker. Well, Eddie Butler, over the last 10 batters, he hasn't retired all 10, but he's faced the minimum number of batters over those 10 hitters. He had a walk and then a fielder's choice and a caught stealing and all sorts of different ways to make it so he's faced the minimum. The 1-2, cut on a miss, struck him out. Decker goes down on strikes, and there's one away in the top of the 5th. Worked a deep count there. But Eddie Butler's been really good tonight. Allowed 2 runs back in the first, but ever since has been terrific. He's gone 4 1/3 now, thrown 68 pitches. First pitch swinging, foul from Robbie Kellerman. Played catcher yesterday, at third base today. He's made 2 errors at third base. He's not traditionally a third baseman. Riley Mahan was at third yesterday, moved over to short today as Kiefer was out. 0-1, that's a called strike, count 0-2. More chance of ice cream. We got to get to the bottom of this. If you've been with us the last couple of days, you've heard more ice cream chants. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Robbie Kellerman goes down swinging, and there are 2 away. Fans cheering for the strikeout, fans also cheering for the ice cream. We got to see what's going on here with this ice cream ordeal. Might have to call down to field level. Good friend Andrew Banstra to hear what the deal is. So we're hearing all the ice cream chants. So we want to let you know what's going on with that, but I just don't have word with who's getting ice cream, where it's coming from. Well, maybe you just got to come out to the reg yourself and find out. It's the 9-hitter now, Breland Almadova. First pitch cut on and missed. And the count 0-1. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, I should say. Blue Crabs 8. Wild Health Genomes 2. 0-1. Little low and in, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Cut on and fouled off the inside of his left ankle. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base paths are empty in the top of the 5th inning. Blue Crabs 8 and Wild Health Genomes 2. Genomes scored their 2 runs back in the top of the 1st. Had a 2-run lead until the bottom of the 2nd when the Blue Crabs responded with a 2-run home run. As the 1-2 is cut on and missed, was caught on the fly, says the catcher, not the catcher, I beg your pardon, says the umpire, Kirk Powell, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. The Blue Crabs still have a 6-run lead. Stick with us. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fifth inning from the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network, where the Blue Crabs have an 8-2 lead over the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. 2 runs from the Genomes back in the first. There was an RBI double and a solo home run, as the first pitch is swung on and chopped foul third base side by Ryan Haug, who leads things off. The Blue Crabs then in the second inning responded with a 2-run shot from Zach Collier. Scored 3 more in the third inning from a hit by pitch from Braxton Lee and a 2 RBI single from this man, Ryan Haug. The 0-1, swinging a ground ball over to short, fielded by Mahan. He's in no hurry. He makes a routine throw over to first for the first out. So 1 away in the bottom of the fifth. Here comes Jordan Howard. Howard, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 in today's game. The Blue Crabs then made it an 8-2 game on a 3-run shot off the bat of David Harris. Zach Collier, 1 for 1 with 2 walks. He scored 2 runs in today's game. That one swung on and driven to right, but it's right at the right fielder Wellington Dotel, I should say. And a quick 2 up and 2 down. In the bottom of the fifth inning. Sundberg digs in from the left side. Sundberg surprisingly 0 for 2. He has reached base and on a walk. He also reached on an error. So he's reached twice today, but he doesn't have a hit. First pitch is low to Sundberg. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Have to wonder if that is the end of the night for Eddie Butler, who threw exactly 75 pitches, 52 of them for strikes. Pitch from Josh Martin. In there for a called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Jack Sundberg. There's one player who knows the strike zone well. It's clearly Sundberg. Pitch, breaking ball, that misses, and the count 2-1. He has walked 8 times in the last 3 games. Walked 5 times in the series against Staten Island and walked 3 times yesterday. Also walked today, so it's 9 times against in the last 4 games. The 2-1 pitch in there for a called strike and the count 2-2. And the number of walks that he puts up is nothing short of outstanding. This is why he came into this game with a .655 on base percentage. It's like something out of a video game. Base path's empty, 2 outs, 8-2 Southern Maryland, 2-2. Low and in, and Sundberg managed to check his swing in the count 3-2. Sundberg will be followed by Silva, who is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error twice. Came around to score 1 of those 2 times. 3-2. That's away. Ball 4. And to the surprise of exactly nobody, Jack Sundberg has walked. It is his 10th walk in the last 4 games. Let's get a listen to this. Last series against Staten Island, he was 1 for 3 with 5 walks. On the homestand now, that's over the course of 4 games, he is 3 for 8. Not bad, that's .375. With 10 walks and 6 runs scored. First pitch swinging to Ruby Silva. It's going to be a tough play. Running it hard down the line, throw to first, not in time. Infield hit for Ruby Silva. Runners on first and second with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th, and the Blue Crabs rally continues as Jared Walker comes to the plate. Walker's blasted a couple of balls today, but nothing has fallen for him. About as unlucky as it gets. Braxton Lee also very unlucky. He's had an unlucky season this year, to be completely honest. Lee hit one to dead center about 390 feet, and the center fielder Demetrius Moorer made a basket over the shoulder catch on him. And Jared Walker hit it probably 400 feet just to the right of the batter's eye. But again, it was Demetrius Moorer there to steal extra bases. First pitch swinging, left center field. It's going to be a long run, but Demetrius Moorer is there yet again. He's had a terrific defensive evening, throws the ball into the crowd. And that will do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. The Blue Crabs strand 2 at the end of 5. It's Southern Maryland 8 and the Genomes 2. You're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. You heard from Nick Wells moments ago. He's now on the mound. First pitch swinging, high pop-up into shallow right. The second baseman, Ruby Silva, there to make the grab on Demetrius Moore's pop-up. It was the leadoff man who led off the inning. And there is one away in the top of the 6th. Well, Eddie Butler's evening is over. 5 innings of work. For the right-handed pitcher, he allowed just 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He struck out 6 and walked 2. Did allow a home run. First pitch swinging from Riley Mahan, and he tops it over to second, and Silva tosses to first. And again, Ruby Silva involved in the putout. So 2 away in the top of the 6th. The Blue Crabs have an 8-2 lead over the Wild Health Genomes. Here is Wellington Dotel. First pitch a little low for ball one. Here is the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Right down Darrell Thompson drive. That's the decision I think we've come up with. When it's right down the middle of the plate, we're going to say right down Darrell Thompson drive. Not right down Main Street, not right down Broadway, as the 1-2 is cut on and missed. Right down Darrell Thompson drive. You got to make it personalized somehow, and that's, I think, the conclusion we've come up with. Thompson throws a lot of strikes. Why not right down Darrell Thompson drive? Base path's empty, 2 outs. The 1-2, swinging a ground ball, backhanded by the first baseman Walker. He flips over to the pitcher, pitcher Nick Wells, who steps on the bag. Wells comes in, and he retires the Genomes in order. 1, 2, 3. We're done with 5.5. The Blue Crabs with a healthy 8-2 lead.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, you heard from Alex Crosby moments ago. And Crosby stands on deck. It's David Harris who steps in to start the bottom of the 6th inning. And he swings and fouls it down the third base line. A chopper over toward the Blue Crabs bullpen. 8-2 Southern Maryland. It was the Genomes who struck first with 2 in the first. Blue Crabs with 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. This man, Harris, had a 3-run shot earlier in the game as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Count 0-2. Nick Wells pitched well, to say the least. Wells faced 3 batters, retired them in order, took just 6 pitches to finish the inning. I would not be at all surprised to see him go out there and pitch the 7th. 0-2. A little low and away. I'm not sure about the availability for Latos or Briseño down the stretch and whether the Blue Crabs would even want to use them up 6 runs. Because that's been the direction they've been going. 8th Briseño, 9th Latos. That's back to last year with a setup man and closer role. 1-2. Harris went around, and it's strike 3. Tried to check his swing. He could not. It might have been in the zone already. as the home plate umpire, Kirk Powell, gave him a full punch out. One away in the bottom of the 6th. Southern Maryland ahead by 2. He apologized for the issues with the camera momentarily there. Got it up and running now. Breaking ball on the first pitch to Alex Crosby for a called strike. No one on. The Blue Crabs have a 6-run lead. 5 of the 8 runs they've scored have come via the long ball. 0-1 pitch, swinging a slow ground ball to third, and Robbie Kellerman's just going to eat it. He's not a third baseman by trade. A third baseman normally makes at least an attempt on that ball. He didn't have a play. He's not all that used to the position. He's already made 2 errors today. And that's another play where he should have at least had a throw, and he didn't. So runner on first now for the Blue Crabs, and 1 away as Alex Crosby is aboard. David Harris started the inning with a strikeout. Crosby aboard for the 3rd time today, has had 2 walks. He struck out once and single. First pitch to Zach Collier. Collier's had a good day, to say the least. 2-run homer in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, walked in the 4th. Also came around to score a run back in the 3rd inning. Count 0-1 on the lefty. Swinging a line drive, right field, base hit. Why not be on base for the 4th time tonight? Zach Collier with a single and Crosby to second. Well, for Zach Collier, it's his 4th time on base. He didn't play in the first 6 games of the year. Was 1 for 4 yesterday with a double and an RBI. Also reached via a walk. Today, he's 2 for 2 with 2 walks. And those 2 hits, a home run, a 2-run shot at that, and a single right there moments ago to extend the Blue Crabs' rally. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Braxton Lee at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball on the count. 1-0. Well, Josh Martin, since entering in relief of Blair, has allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Blair allowed, we'll get there in a moment. That one hit high in the air, deep left center field. Moorer dives! Did he make the catch? No, he couldn't come up with it. 1 run is going to come around and score as Crosby chugs for the plate. It is a 1-out double and an RBI at that for Braxton Lee, who hit the ball very well. And Demetrius Moorer laid out to try to make an outstanding play in left center. Couldn't quite come up with it. Nearly had it. May have had it in his glove momentarily. But the Blue Crabs are ultimately going to score a run. And it is a 9-2 lead as an opposite field RBI double off the bat of Braxton Lee. And it is a 7-run Blue Crabs advantage. 2 runners still in scoring position. We're going to have to see if they're going to take a break in center field. Lee hit the ground pretty hard there on that diving attempt, trying to shake out his arms. Might have a bit of a cut there on his arm. It's tough to tell exactly what the issue is. As Josh Martin looks back at him, they play on. The Blue Crabs have added to their lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out, runners on 2nd and 3rd, an opportunity to blow this one wide open as Ryan Haug digs in. First pitch, strike at the knees, in the count 0-1 on Ryan Haug. Lee from second, Collier from third. With one out in the bottom of the sixth inning. Pitch, check swing. Motion down to the first base umpire, Levante Palmer, who said he did not go around. Count even at a ball and a strike on Haug. He'll be followed by Jordan Howard. There's the pitch, swinging a high fly ball. Left field, it's going to get into the seats. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitter, Ryan Haug. Haug 1 for 2 on the day. He walked, stole a base, then had a 2 RBI single in the third. Has an opportunity to do the same here with runners on second and third and 1 out. And he grounded it short in the fifth. Blue Crabs looking to extend that 9-2 lead here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 1-2, swinging a slow ground ball over to first. The first baseman, Shaw, has trouble with it. He's going to step on the bag. The run will score. It's a fielder's choice. And another RBI for Ryan Haug. And the Blue Crabs extend their lead to 10-2. Runner on second base with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth. And Southern Maryland has added another run. Braxton Lee leads off of third base. Had an RBI double earlier in the inning. He's really shown that pop in his bat today. Couple of very hard hit fly balls. Howard struck out in the first, grounded to short in the third, and flied out to right in the fifth. His first game back since he was in Double-A earlier. 1-0 is outside. The count, 2 balls and no strikes on the lefty. He gets on. Jack Sundberg is on deck. Sundberg's already been to the plate 4 times. It would be his 5th trip to the plate here in the bottom of the sixth. 2-0. Swing a high pop-up, right field side. It's Wellington Dotel. Takes a few steps over toward the line and makes the catch for the final out. The Blue Crabs strand 1 at the end of 6 innings of play at Southern Maryland 9. And the Wild Health Genomes 2. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Top of the 7th inning, as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs have a 10-2 lead now over the Wild Health Genomes. First pitch, fastball at the belt for strike one on the 4-hitter Chris Shaw. 0-1, a little low and away from Nick Wells, who's come on in relief of Eddie Butler. He pitched the 6th inning. Didn't need to do all that much pitching, though. Threw just 6 pitches to retire all 3 batters. One. Swing and a miss. Count 1-2. Nick Wells came into this game having not allowed a run so far on the year. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The first strikeout of the evening from Nick Wells as he gets Chris Shaw swinging. Nick Wells so far has gone 3 innings of work. He has not allowed a hit, has not allowed a walk, and he struck out 3. He's now gone 4 1/3. He struck out 4 now as well after the strikeout today. First pitch, a little bit inside on Felix PA. Felix PA, a left-handed hitter who spent 6 years in the majors, 1-0. It's a strike on the outer half, count 1-1. Shaw spent last season of the AA and AAA level. He was 0-3 with a 4.96 ERA at those levels. The 1-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball right over to second. Fielded by Silva, the flip to first, they're 2 away. Wells continues to dominate this evening. Here comes Chase Velo. Looks like they have a pinch hitter coming to the plate now. Well, this is an interesting one. No one on their roster has the number 8, and that's who's at the plate. First pitch swinging, fouled off toward the first base side out of play. So it appears it is Chase Velo, who's not wearing number 13, but instead wearing number 8 tonight. The jersey situation for the Wild Health Genomes is a little bit complicated. A couple of players who are wearing different numbers. 0-1, that's a little bit inside, and the count 1-1. Base paths empty, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Southern Maryland leads this one 10-2. Pitch from Wells. A little low and in. Count 2-1. Up until this point, Wells has gone an inning and 2/3. Retired all 5 batters he's faced. He's thrown just 13 pitches. Something else. 2-1s outside. Count 3-1. Is now at risk of walking his first batter of the year. And as far as we know, it is Chase Velo. Well, now it's apparently Phipps who has come into the game for him. (3-2). Cut on a miss. A 3-1, I should say. Cut on a miss. Count 3-2. Matt Phipps is wearing number 8, so there is a pinch hitter for Chase Velo. Phipps' number was not listed on our roster sheet, so that clears that up. It is Matt Phipps. 3-2. Swinging a foul ball, first base side out of play. Base paths empty with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Blue Crabs have an 8-run advantage. 3-2 from Wells. Just a little outside. He wanted strike three, had taken 2 steps to the dugout. Instead, the home plate umpire, Kirk Powell, says, no, not so fast. That's ball 4. Matt Phipps from first base after the walk. And here comes Will Decker. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Swinging a line drive foul, third base side, over the dugout, into the seats. Will Decker 0 for 2. He popped up to third and he struck out in the 5th. Eight-run lead here as we pass 9 o'clock on the East Coast. 0-1. Fastball on the count 0-2. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Blue Crabs with 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, and the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Wells dominating. 2 scoreless innings, had a walk. He thought it was a strikeout. Nonetheless, the Blue Crabs get out of it. The end of 6.5. It's time to stretch here at the reg in Waldorf. 10-2 Blue Crabs. Stick with us.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Dalton Geeky, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Thank everybody for sticking with us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Blue Crabs lead this one 10-2. First pitch to the leadoff hitter in the Blue Crabs lineup. Jack Sundberg is outside for ball 1. Count 1-0 on Jack Sundberg, who has reached twice via a walk tonight. He's reached 10 times so far in this 4-game homestand via a walk, and the count even at a ball and a strike. I mean, the walk totals Not something that normally jump off the page, but for Sundberg they do, and the 1-1 pitch is a called strike. He does wait for his pitch. He's not going to swing at pitches that may be outside the zone. But now the count is 1-2. Sundberg has reached 3 times today, once on an error. He grounded out to first as well. And the 1-2 pitch close, but missed, maybe a little inside. Looked pretty good though, and the count 2-2. Sundberg to lead things off here in the 7th. Blue Crabs have a 10-2 lead. 2-2 to Sundberg. Low and in, count 3-2. Well, this is Jack Sundberg baseball right here. 3 walks yesterday, 5 walks in the 2-game series against Staten Island. 2 walks already today, here in his 5th plate appearance. He's also got speed. Did I forget to mention that? 5 stolen bases this year. 3-2, cut on and tapped down the first baseline. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sundberg to be followed by Silva and Walker. Harris, if necessary afterward. Harris has a 3-run shot today. Silva has been aboard 3 times as well. Here's the 3-2. That's inside, ball 4. Is anyone surprised? I said that last time, I think. Well, no one's surprised because it's Jack Sundberg walking. And he seems to do that every time he comes to the plate. He's now walked 11 times on this homestand. Let's just get an idea for this for a moment here as I give you the exact numbers on Sundberg for this homestand. He's 3 for 8, 375 hitter, and he has 11 walks. He's reached base 14 out of 19 times safely, and that does not include errors. If you do, that's 15 out of 19 times. The first pitch is low to Ruby Silva. The count 1 ball and no strikes with Sundberg on first base. Oh, 1. Oh, that's a big wave and a miss from Silva. I beg your pardon, that's the 1-1. Sundberg from first. Bottom of the 7th. Blue Crabs all over the Genomes. 10-2 tonight. 14-9 win for Southern Maryland last night. The Genomes have been held to just 2 hits so far. Cut on and missed. Count a ball and 2 strikes now on the lefty. Silva's got power, and he's had a terrific homestand. He was 7 for 13 coming into this one. Also in the midst of a 6-game hit streak, he extended that to 7 today. Swung on a tapper off his front foot. Count a ball and 2 strikes on the lefty. Silva is 1 for 4 today. Reached on an error by the second baseman, also an error by the first baseman. 2 of the 4 errors the Genomes have committed today. The other 2 by the third baseman, Robbie Kellerman, who's playing out of position. 1-2. Low and in. It's going to get by Silva, and Jack Sundberg can practically walk to second base on a pass ball. Silva kindly picks up the mask for Chase Velo. Well, I beg your pardon. Change in the catcher tonight. The catcher is now Matt Phipps, who's behind home plate. Chase Velo got the start, but he was taken out of the game. Runner on second, nobody out. Not sure the Blue Crabs are running anymore with this 8-run advantage. Sundberg 5 for 5 on the base paths. Was was able to walk to second after the pass ball. 2-2. Swing on a tapper foul yet again. Silva followed by Walker and Harris. The Blue Crabs can hold on tonight. It would be their 7th consecutive win. They'd move to 7-1 on the year. Runner on second with nobody out. And the catcher, Matt Phipps, is going to come up to have a quick conversation with the pitcher, the new pitcher who's just entered the game, actually, as they have replaced Josh Martin. With number 23, who is not listed. Or, 33, Ryan Harper. Harper is listed on that roster. I had 23. 2-2, cut on and missed. Struck him out. And there is one away now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Harper earns a strikeout. Ryan Harper on the season has an 18 ERA. Blue Crabs won the last 3 games of the series against Lexington. Won the first 2 games at home against Staten Island. Won the opener against the Genomes. If they can hold on to this 8-run lead tonight here in the 7th, would have won 7 consecutive. And 4-0 to start the year at home. Quite the accomplishment for the Blue Crabs. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count 1-1 on Jared Walker, who had a terrific day at the plate. He talked a lot about the power coming from his legs yesterday in our conversation after the game, where he was 5 for 6 and added a home run. It's one of the things he's working on as a hitter. He's not someone who typically hits for an outstanding average, but he has a lot of power. Hit 4 home runs in the first 7 games for Southern Maryland. 1-1, low and in, and the count 2-1. So far, Jared Walker launched one to the warning track in right center field, was robbed of extra bases, flied out to left field twice. 0 for 3 on the day. Runner on second, 1 out. Here's the 2-1. That's away. Count 3-1. Ryan Harper gets his sign from the catcher, Matt Phipps, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 pitch, breaking ball for a called strike. After Jared Walker, David Harris will come to the plate. First base is open, but that's not the intention right now for someone like Ryan Harper. Trying to get his numbers down a little bit. 3-2, ball 4. Low one in on Jared Walker. And with 1 away, there are runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 7th. And here comes David Harris, who already has a 3-run home run this evening. After the Mets no-hit the Phillies last night, they've held the Phillies to 3 hits tonight. Mets lead that game 1-0. Red Sox lead the Orioles 1-0 as well. Orioles have combined for 3 hits. They are threatening with runners on first and second now in the bottom of the 7th. As Harris fouls off the first pitch in the count, 0-1. Runners on first and second now. Pitch, swinging a high pop-up behind home plate. It's the catcher, Matt Phipps, who gives chase and runs out of room. Walker walked. He's on first. Sundberg off second after he walked for the third time tonight. You think that's out of the ordinary? You'd be incorrect. He has walked 11 times in 4 games. So much it almost doesn't make sense. 0-2 is absolutely drilled to left field, down the line, foul. I beg your pardon for the comment that it was to left center. It was down the left field line over the Legends Club and out of play. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. But Harris belted that ball, and he already belted 1 home run tonight. Certainly has the power streak going. 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball, foul down the right field line, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes on the righty. Harris has come around and scored once. Once on his 3-run shot, the other time on an error made by Robbie Kellerman. He scored on Braxton Lee's hit by pitch. Oh, 2 is low in the dirt. Wasted pitch that time from Ryan Harper. Long at bat here from David Harris. 6th pitch coming up next. 1-2, low, and it's 2-2. Let's give you an idea of where things stand for the Wild Health Genomes in their pitching staff tonight. 3 innings from Aaron Blair. Allowed 6 runs, 3 earned, 2 hits, 4 walks. Struck out 1. Josh Martin took over from there, was not much better. 3 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned. This one's a slow ground ball to third. Not going to be a play. Robbie Kellerman never came up with it. Would have been an infield hit nonetheless. And the Blue Crabs have the bases loaded with 1 out. So David Harris goes deep to left center with the longest hit of the day. And also has the shortest hit of the day at an infield hit. Walker to second, Sundberg to third. The bases are loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, I should say. Alex Crosby comes to the plate. Crosby aboard 3 times tonight. 2 walks and a base hit. He's come around to score all 3 times. Blue Crabs already up 8. He's got an opportunity to blow this game further open. First pitch is low and in for ball 1. Harris, Walker, and Sundberg on with 1 out in the 7th pitch. Swinging a ground ball through the right side for a base hit. 1 run scores. Sundberg scores from third. They're going to send Walker. He also scores. It's a 2 RBI single from Alex Crosby. A 2-hit evening for Crosby. He's on base for the 4th time tonight. And it is a 12-2 game. And the Blue Crabs just keep on hitting. When you have outstanding hitting the way the Blue Crabs have, and you pair it with some of the best pitching in the league, you're going to win a lot of games. And the Blue Crabs, unless something crazy happens here, would take home their 7th consecutive win. Up 10 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 RBI single from Alex Crosby. Blue Crabs 12, Wild Health Genomes 2. as Crosby exits the game for Ian Yetzko. Give Yetzko an opportunity here late in the game. Yetzko has had one hit on the year. He is 1 for 1. Also scored a run. Zach Collier come to the plate as they keep Ryan Harper in the game despite his struggles. First pitch from Harper to Collier, way inside, count 1-0. If you're wondering how Collier's doing in his second game back, how about a 2-run home run, a single, and 2 walks? He's been on base all 4 times tonight. 1-0, swinging a high pop-up foul behind home plate, and the count 1-1. Temperatures have dipped a little bit here at the Reagan Waldorf, but still quite a few fans in the stands. It's 55 degrees now as we move towards 9:30, I should say. 1-1 pitch is upstairs in the count 2-1. Crosby from first, Harris from second. Bottom of the 7th inning, all Blue Crabs tonight, 12-2. And the breaking ball a little bit up and away in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Braxton Lee stands on deck. Lee's had a good game today. Had a 2 RBI double back in the 6th, was hit by a pitch. Back in the 3rd, also drove in a run. 3-1, that's low and in, and Collier is aboard for the 5th time tonight. Three walks, a single, and a home run from Zach Collier. Bit of a walk-a-thon here in the 7th. 3 Blue Crabs have walked in the 7th alone. The pitching for the Wild Health Genomes has certainly left something to be desired. There have been 8 walks, or that's 9 walks now in the game for the Wild Health Genomes pitching staff. You're not going to win many games if you walk 9 batters in the first 6 and a third. And the pitching staff has walked far too many. First pitch, a called strike on a breaking ball to Braxton Lee. 9 walks, 9 hits. Ryan Harper has gone just a third of an inning. He's allowed 2 earned runs, 3 walks. He struck out 1 but allowed 2 hits. 0-1 pitch cut on, hit high in the air, shallow left field. Almadova gives way for the shortstop, Riley Mahan, who makes the catch for the 2nd out. Well done by Mahan to track that ball all the way. Here comes Ryan Haug. Haug, the catcher tonight. He is 1 for 2. A pair of RBIs, a trio of RBIs tonight, actually. Well, technically, Haug is 1 for 3, I should say. That ground out to first when you drive in a run, you are still credited with an 0 for 1 on that at bat as the first pitch a called strike. Drove in 3 runs. He's also walked once. Bases are loaded with 2 outs for the Blue Crabs. Already had the healthiest of 10-run leads here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Count 0-2. Haug digs back in from the right side. The bases loaded and 2 outs. 0-2. Swing a ground ball foul, first base side. So it's Harris from third, Crosby from second, Collier from first. And the 0-2 swung on and hit high in the air, left field. The left fielder Almadova moves over and he can't make the catch. He misjudged it, dove for it, and it fell. 2 more runs are going to score. And it is a 14-2 Blue Crabs lead. Oh my. This game for the Genomes has gone from bad to worse. A mistake out in the outfield as Howe drives in 2 more runs on a 2 RBI double. And it's 14-2 Southern Maryland. The Blue Crabs, they're hitting red hot right now. Getting a little bit of help from the Genomes fielders and pitching staff, but this one's not close. It's 14-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher comes in for Ryan Harper. We'll step aside during the pitching change. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Andres Briseño, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Alex Merrithew, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning from the Reagan Waldorf as the 9-hitter digs in from the left side. Blue Crabs have 10 hits yet again, 13 unanswered runs. First pitch strike on Jordan Howard, who is 0 for 4 today. Two RBI double credited to Ryan Haug, as Harris came around and scored along with Alex Crosby. And Zach Collier to third. Count a ball and a strike after that one misses to Jordan Howard. Howard trying to get in on the party here. As the 1-1 swung on and laced into left field for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. 2 more runs come in. It's 16-2 Blue Crabs. And Howard with another extra base hit. And the Blue Crabs bats just keep on hitting. Every Blue Crab to start the game now has a hit with the exception of this man, Jack Sundberg, who has reached base 3 times. Let's just go through the lineup here. Sundberg 0 for 2. He's got 3 walks. He scored twice. Silva 1 for 5. He scored a run. Walker is 0 for 1, but he's walked as well. So he is 0 for 4. He has reached, though. Harris 2 for 5, a 3-run shot included. Crosby 2 for 3. He's got 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Collier is 2 for 2, 2-run homer and 3 walks. Lee's 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Haug is 2 for 4 with 5 RBIs. Howard 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. I mean, this team is hitting the cover off the ball as the first pitch misses the Jack Sundberg, count 1-0. 1-0. That's a strike on the outer half, and the count 1-1 on Sundberg. It's Nate Peden, the new pitcher, into the game. Peden, 23 years old, played as high as A-ball. One pitch in there for a called strike. This team in the Kentucky Wild-Tailed Genomes has 9 former big leaguers on the team, including 7 pitchers. 1-2, struck him out. Sundberg doesn't go down swinging all that often. He did that time. The Blue Crabs have put up 6 more in the 7th. It is 16-2. Stick with us here from the Reagan Waldorf. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Matt Latos, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Matt Latos not needed this evening, that's for sure. It's a 16-2 lead for the Blue Crabs in the top of the 8th inning. And Patrick Baker comes in. Baker has been quite effective this year. In 4 innings, he's not allowed to run. First pitch misses for ball 1. His issue's been control. We see this quite a bit in the Atlantic League. A lot of guys throw pretty hard, have had MLB action, but control's been an issue. This one swung on, ground ball off the mound, barehanded at short by Howard and throws him out at first. What a play. And there's one away. Well, the Blue Crabs put up 7 runs, or 6 runs, back in the 7th inning. They batted around. 10 Blue Crabs came to the plate in the 8th. And Kellerman just grounded out to short. The last time the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes had a hit was back in the 1st inning when Chris Shaw homered to right field. Have not had a hit since. 2 base runners via walks. That's it. Back in the 3rd, Riley Mahan walked. And then Matt Phipps walked in the 7th. Though Nick Wells is pretty sure he had strike 3. But Blue Crabs hitting has been sensational. 0-1. It's a little low on the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Nick Wells' evening is over. Give you the official stat line on him. He went 2 innings of work. Allowed no hits, no runs. He walked 1. He struck out 2. 1-1 pitch, that's away, and the count 2 balls and a strike as a ball comes in from way over in the Wild Health Genomes bullpen. Kentucky shares a field with Lexington. The Lexington Legends and the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes both play at what's known as Wild Health Field. We apologize for the camera angle being off. One pitch, swung on and missed. Count 1-2. Yeah, we apologize for the video and the technical deficiencies today. Getting those back up to live on air with you. As our center field camera and our home plate camera are back up with you. We're glad to be able to bring you that center field camera this year. Base path's empty, 1 out. The 1-2 pitch, low and in the dirt. The count 2-2. Brilland Almadova fake ran to first base. He ran in place, which I think shows you the mentality of a lot of hitters in the league right now. You know, it's gone so far as to even get a hit for your batting average should you run to first base. But players just saying, no, I don't want it. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, struck him out. Brilland Almadova goes down on strikes. And they're 2 outs. Of course, Tony Thomas stole first famously last year. Or I guess it was in 2019. Had his cleats in the Hall of Fame and everything as that story went viral. Played millions and millions of times across all sorts of platforms. Top of the 8th inning, everybody, and it is a 16-2 game. First pitch, a called strike, and the count 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little low in the count, 1-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Patrick Baker on the mound for Southern Maryland. Baker has not allowed a run this year in 4 innings of work. And the 1-1, a called strike, in the count 1-2. Base path's empty, 2 outs. 16-2 Blue Crabs. This one not close from the Reagan Waldorf. We're glad to have you on hand for tonight's game. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Strike 3 on Demetrius Moorer to end the top of the 8th inning. And the Blue Crabs go to the bottom of the 8th, up 14. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Jarrett Walker, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 8th, it is all Southern Maryland, 16-2. That's your score as the Blue Crabs send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate. Pinch hitter, though, for Ruby Silva. As the Blue Crabs send Raul Shah to the plate. Shah played yesterday as well. First pitch, a ball to the right-handed hitter. 1-0, that's also in. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Shaw pinch hit for Silva. In yesterday's game, the Blue Crabs really have a good problem in that they have too many outstanding outfielders. Collier, Sundberg, and Lee are the 3 full-time outfielders, and then you have Ruby Silva, who's normally an outfielder, who's been put in the second base spot. Hibbert, who's had an outstanding season, has nowhere to play right now, but he's being worked into the lineup as well. And then you add into that that David Harris is also an outfielder. He's been put in the designated hitter spot because he's hitting so well. The bats are outstanding, which means that some guys like Raul Shah just aren't getting the opportunities they normally would. And the 2-0 is low in the count 3-0. Raul Shah had a terrific year last year in the Pioneer League, hitting .350, a .981 OPS, and the log jam of outstanding talent in the infield is the reason that he's not in the lineup every day. 3-0 pitch, called strike, belt high, the count 3-1. Southern Maryland have an outstanding 16-2 lead. Pitch, swung on, and a pop-up in the infield. The second baseman, Will Decker, moves in and makes the grab for the second out. For the first out, I should say. One away in the bottom of the 8th. And Jared Walker steps in from the left side. Walker has scored a run today, but he is 0 for 3, or 0 for 4, I should say. Hit the ball very hard back in the first inning. What probably should have been a 2 RBI double, but it was robbed by the center fielder Demetrius Moorer. First pitch on the outer half for a called strike. Walker taps home plate twice. 0-1. Inside in the count 1-1. An opportunity potentially for Ian Yetzko to get his second at-bat of the year. He is 1 for 1 on the season and scored a run. That's all he's had the opportunity to do so far. 1-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball over to second base. Decker's got it. Flips the first and they're 2 away. And here comes David Harris. Oh, it's Matt Hibbert who's going to get a chance here. Hibbert's had a great year, hitting .368. Did not play yesterday. Played against Staten Island on the 28th, where he was 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Has an on-base percentage of .538. As Hibbert digs back in. He's played in 5 games so far this year. First pitch, strike at the belt, and the count 0-1. So David Harris has his evening over. He was 2 for 5. The home run, a single, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. It's been that kind of evening for the Blue Crabs. 16 runs on 11 hits. And it's tough for a pinch hitter like Hibbert, who, of course, wants to get at bats in these situations, but he's been cold off the bench the entire night and then has to go in and try to pick up a hit and important at bats for himself here in the 8th. It might not be important at bats in the landscape of the game, but they're definitely important at bats for him. As we close in on 10 p.m. here on the East Coast. One in there for a called strike, count 0-2. Base path's empty in the bottom of the 8th. Hibbert stands back in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Well done. A nice finish to that inning from Tim Peterson, who pitched a 1-2-3-8. It's the best pitching performance we've seen from the Genomes all evening long. It's 16-2 Blue Crabs. Stick with us in the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We go to the 9th when we come back.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
So, what do you like about your home?
Go outside sometimes. Practice like hockey. I like to build Legos at home, ride my dirt bike.
Hometown isn't just a part of our name, it's who we are. We know Southern Maryland because it's our hometown. We are Hometown Real Estate. We'll see you at the park, the grocery store, or the ball field, and we know why living here is great. Give us a call today at 443-275-9910 or visit us online at wehelpyouhome.com. We are your neighbors. We are Hometown Real Estate. Let us help you home.
Last shot for the Wild Health Genomes to get anything going here on the top of the 9th. New pitcher enters for the Blue Crabs. It's Dario Polanco and a 16-2 Blue Crabs lead. First pitch swung on and missed from the two-hitter in the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes lineup. That's Riley Mahan. Oh, 1. That's low and away. Gets to the backstop, but Mahan's not going anywhere. And that's been the general theme from players across the league so far that we've seen, from the Blue Crabs, from Staten Island, Lexington, and also here with the Wild Health Genomes. Players want to actually swing the bat. That's why they're here. Try to get some hits and eventually, at some point, try to get back to the big leagues. 1-1. Swing a ground ball, right side. Tough play. Scooped up at second by Shah. Throw to first is in time. Raul Shah did very well to charge in on that ball and toss to first for the first out. Here's Wellington Dotel. Dotel to be followed by Chris Shaw. Last time that the Wild Health Genomes had a base hit was in the first inning, when Chris Shaw homered to right field. Blue Crabs have retired the last 23 batters without allowing a hit. One pitch, a little away, and the count 2-1 on Dotel. Well, Southern Maryland, after this one, will have won 7 straight. And across the Atlantic League, the Blue Crabs continue to rack up wins and improve in the standings. We want to get you those official standings as soon as we have them with an update after tonight's game. Blue Crabs came in 6-1, tied with, or right behind, Gastonia, who's 8-1. Gastonia has now won 8 straight after today's game. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Dotel goes down on strikes. We apologize for the technical difficulties out in center, as we're working with just one camera now. Two outs, nobody on, as Chris Shaw steps in. Lexington Legends, Long Island Ducks game still ongoing. 1-0 pitch, swinging a ground ball over to second. This should do it. Shaw flips to first, and the Blue Crabs win this one 16-2. The pitching staff didn't allow a single hit from the second inning onward. They retired the last 25 without allowing a hit. All the way around, from Eddie Butler to Nick Wells. Patrick Baker pitched an inning. Dario Polanco. The bullpen this year for Southern Maryland has been dynamic, to say the least. Eddie Butler with a strong performance on the mound. He'll pick up the win. And the Blue Crabs, with this one, move to 7-1 on the season. We're going to get you that score from Lexington, where the Legends have an 8-6 lead over Long Island. The Long Island Ducks do have the tying run at the plate. But if Lexington holds on, the Blue Crabs' lead in the North Division would go to 2 games. And this is important at this point because the first half of the season is only 66 games. It's a much shorter season than the full-length 132. It's the first half, and if you win the first half of the season, then you would go to the playoffs automatically. The second half doesn't even matter with regard to the playoffs. So the Blue Crabs have an opportunity now to clinch the playoffs in the first half with a strong finish to the season. They are 7-1 to start things off, and would have a 2-game lead over Long Island if Lexington holds on. It is a hit parade tonight. You look up and down the Blue Crabs lineup, and they were able to get hits at will here. Go to your box score and get you the rundown of the Blue Crabs lineup. Sundberg went 0 for 3, but he had 3 walks, scored 2 runs. Silva was 1 for 5. Walker was 0 for 5. He scored a run. Harris 2 for 5. He had a 3-run home run though. Crosby 2 for 3. He also drove in 2 runs and scored 3. Walked twice. Collier 2 for 2. 4 runs scored. He walked 3 times in his second game in his return to the Blue Crabs lineup. Lee was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Haug had a 2 for 4 evening with 5 RBIs. And Howard 1 for 5. He also drove in a pair on a 2 RBI double. Well, that does it from us here at the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Blue Crabs 16 as they beat the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes 16-2 on Saturday night. Be back with you tomorrow afternoon as the Blue Crabs have a Sunday afternoon matinee for Game 3 of this series. Have a nice night, everybody.